Here we go, OverDrive off and running. TSN 1050 on the TSN app, your home smart speaker, and up on TSN 4, Brian Hayes, Frankie Corrado, and the O-Dog, Jeff O'Neill. How are we feeling this afternoon?
Good to be with you, boys. I noticed my Partsy last night, that idiot. He was like, taking the Bengals. And then
Tough
he
pick.
said, dude, he said on SportsCenter, that's the worst performance he's ever seen by an NFL team ever. How do you make that pick against Denver?
Here's the issue I have. We picked the Jets.
I mean, I don't have an
game.
issue. He made the pick. He gets creative. He tried to make the pick, but my God.
Well, you
Jets
caught
pick,
up in the number.
not much better.
The Jets pick is brutal. Like we broke, Al's brother and I broke the number one rule in gambling, because what you do is you get caught up in a lot of times in the number, you look at the line, you get caught up in who you're betting against. The first rule of gambling is know who you're betting on. Who are you betting on first?
What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
So we got caught up, Al's brother, of course, Finns are frauds, Miami stinks, line's only 2.5. So we were focused on that. And you know what we forgot? It's the Jets. The Jets
That's
suck.
right.
They're awful. They're the Jets.
They're the biggest losery franchise right now. It doesn't matter if it's Fields, Rodgers. They just suck. They just lose. They're losers, man. Glenn is the coach. They
doesn't
suck.
matter. It doesn't matter who the coach is.
They're deeply entrenched in just being
Yes.
awful. That's
Yes.
who they are. And you could bring back. Could you bring back Tom Brady in his prime? Just drop him into the New York Jets. He couldn't do a thing about it.
No, they lose.
Couldn't do a thing
he's
about
a loser. Yeah, he's a loser. Tom Brady's a loser if he's a New York Jet. Peyton Manning, Joe Montana, I don't care who it is.
Hayes, that's a guy, you just mentioned a guy that they need to go and get. Like a Peyton Manning as president of football operations or something like that, where it's like the nonsense has got to stop. I
think that is a very valid point, and it comes down to ownership. The thing is, in the NFL, everyone knows the owners make so much money.
Yeah.
What is the excuse for not turning over every possible rock to look to see what's under it, to see if it's successful, including offering Peyton and Eli? Now, Eli wouldn't do it because he's a Giant. Giants could probably use some help, too.
Dude, he would do it. You give him the right amount of money, the both of them, and say both of you guys are the head of football.
Right.
And you guys are going to make the decisions. Because it seems like that owner is pretty hands-on, too. What is it?
Woody Johnson.
Well,
Woody.
and also, you've also seen other coaching changes happen where, Pete Carroll goes to Vegas and Harbaugh goes to L.A., and you're like, Jets could have, if they wanted to, they could have had those guys.
Right.
There's
Just
no reason
watched an
why.
hour ago, Frankie. A.J. Hinch is in Detroit. Detroit was the Jets. They were garbage forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Forever. And A.J. Hinch got there, and all of a sudden things started to turn around.
That's right. That's a big part of it.
It is, man.
Who is running the operation, and what kind of front are they putting up? What kind of shield are they putting up? And what kind of culture are they going to establish? And, I'm not going to blame Aaron Glenn for them being 0-4, but I don't know if they got the right guy. And I don't know if Justin Fields can win. In fact, I think there's probably enough sample size to know that he can't. But the Jets were an awful pick. The Bengals were an awful pick. The thing is with the Bengals is they gave all this money to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, and no one could throw him the ball because Burrow's hurt. Jake Browning can't play. What the hell are you going to do? What are you going to do there?
Browning can't play, but he's also getting chased everywhere. That O-line is so bad.
Terrible.
And
It
it's
has
even
been
more
for the last
glaring
5
when
years,
Burrow's
hasn't
not
it,
there.
Hayes?
It's been awful for years. Yep. The O-line's been terrible. The defense has been terrible.
Think of having that golden nugget in Burrow and not having the O-line protect him for that amount of time. That is insanity.
Crazy.
Complete insanity.
That's exactly what happened. They bottomed out. They got a great year to have the first overall pick because Joe Burrow was sitting there waiting for him. The next year they take Jamar Chase. I believe it was the next year. And you're off and running. You've got one of the 4 or 5 best quarterbacks in the league, one of the 2 or 3 best wide receivers. That's your action, right? You got Chase Brown in the backfield. You kind of stumbled into that. Awesome. You got T. Higgins. You got weapons, but that's the thing about football. It's about the trenches. It's about who's tougher, who's more physical, who can protect, who can get after the quarterback, who's the coach.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't that sound like the Dolphins as well? Like when Tua got there and Tyreek is there, and you're like, weapons, man. Like, this could be an explosive offense. What did they not have? They just don't have that, like, muck and grind in the trenches. For a while, they couldn't win in cold weather. Now forget about it. Like, that Tyreek injury is so nasty and ugly.
Man.
And
Man,
to
that was
see
gross.
to see him smiling on the cart after on his, that was doing things to my head, because I'm thinking, like, obviously he's in a lot of pain. He knows the road ahead of him is very tough, but is he, like, just happy? And it's crazy to think this. Is he happy that he doesn't have to be out there taking snaps anymore this year? But that was all-time gross stuff.
That was. I mean, you guys can speak to it. I don't know. Like, you suffer a gruesome injury like that while you're playing. Is it adrenaline's running? Is it that – I don't know. I don't know how to explain that, because, like, a dislocated knee, tore ligaments, he's done. You know, who knows when he'll play again. It won't be in Miami.
No, God, no.
He'll
never go back there.
No, he's not.
I'd never had, Frankie, you might have, but I never on the field, ice, never had, like, a major injury happen.
Oh, buddy, I left my ACL in Rochester. It's still there. It's right around the blue line. It's got to go back and pick it up.
So
it's been sitting
what was
there
it
for
like?
years.
Were you screaming? Like, were you in excruciating pain?
Excruciating
And what happened?
pain.
A guy fell on top of you, or you
No,
got
it was my own teammate. The puck, like, kind of squirted out in between us, and my D partner and I collided. At the last second I saw him, I tried to get out of the way, and he tried to get out of the way, and we went knee on knee, and I just felt like the most excruciating pain ever, and I'm just on the ice, and I'm like, I physically can't get up. So, like, I'm kicking my leg around, and I'm screaming, and then eventually that's it. Like, they blew it dead. They held me off the ice, and that was it.
Awfully difficult not to hate that guy's guts the rest of his life. Like, you know what I mean? Like, accident or whatever. But when it's your own teammate, you're like, I actually hate your guts.
Yeah.
Like, you are my own teammate.
Fault.
Yeah,
it's your
and
fault.
you did that
like,
to me, and I hate it.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. And he was my partner, and he's a great guy, and it was the worst thing ever. And then, like, to add insult to injury, like, you get the call in, like, July. Yeah, we're not going to qualify you. And then you see him get the 15% raise on his deal. You're like, that's a tough
he's
one.
moving up. He's in the show now, and you're battling through an ACL. Yeah. And all I can think of, like, we all experienced it as kids too, is like Don Cherry yelling at us saying, if you can get up and get off the ice, you got to get up and get off the ice. Like,
Dude.
remember that? Is like Cherry, that was one of his big things. And Cherry had a million of them. And
What about your old man? Did your old man not lean over the glass? My dad, like, my brother was a known faker, where I don't know why he did it, dude.
Yeah.
He just put on these theatrics where it was just like
trying to draw a
squealing.
call or something? Was that
No,
what
just
it was?
like I don't know. Like, he was just. Sometimes you're hurt, but sometimes he just seemed to want attention, and that's what my dad thought anyway. And there was one time I think he was actually hurt, and my dad was like the mascot in Calgary, like hanging over the glass, saying like, "Get off!" And I think that one time he was actually hurt, and they came to blows. I think there was exchanges.
Yeah.
But that was everybody's dad in Canada. Like, get up.
It was, you got to get up. If you
I
can
don't
get
think
up.
it's like that now, dude. If you went to a minor hockey game, I don't
No.
think it's get up at
It's
all. Now it's
very
like, get the ambulance out there.
Dude,
Well-
now it's yell at the ref. Yell at the poor 14-year-old who's trying to make $25 in ref because he didn't
Threaten him.
Like, he didn't call a 5-minute major, or who knows. But
Yes.
like, that's what it is now.
It's a totally different world. I just experienced somewhat of a throwback, and I'm concerned that I've been labeled now. Like, I've been labeled as maybe not fully committed, because generally, like, practices, my oldest is playing rep this year, very exciting stuff, and I'm there and I'm watching. Like, when I can be at the practice during the weekends or during the weeknights, I'm there and I'm watching. And they have a fairly standard routine, like every practice in Canada, first 10 or 15 minutes, they're skating, warming up. So I had a growl on over the weekend, and I went for a fry and gravy because I was so hungry. And she got hurt while I was getting the fries and gravy. So the parents are like, where is this guy? You know, like, where are you?
I thought you said you were a coach. I thought you
No.
were going to tell me You snuck a fry and gravy into a tracksuit.
No, but
as an assistant coach, wheeling around, moving pucks, and then digging into a fry and a gravy inside your like
considering
a
how
fanny
hungry
pack
I
or
was,
something.
dude. I would have possibly tried that. With my youngest, I am on the ice, and there are times where I'm like, I would do anything for a bar right now, like sneak on a granola bar. I'll go over into the corner, pretend to push a puck, and I'll maul a granola bar. But here's the catch. She's okay. Everything's all right. She's going to practice tonight. Everything's fine. So it was totally surface level stuff. I had just got the fry and gravy.
So I know what you're going to say. No matter how injured, I'm getting into the fry and gravy first.
I walked it back into the ring.
You're damn right you did. And
I'm not
you
throwing that
nibbled
out.
And you did a nibble and a walk.
I did a couple of nibbles with a walk.
You had
And
to, man.
in your
And
head,
someone
you're like-
judged you.
In your head, you're like, my child might have an ACL injury.
Honestly.
But I am getting down and dirty with this fry
I had
and
the
gravy.
fry and gravy. I had the fry and gravy because I'm like, I just got it. I'm so hungry. I think she's okay. One of the moms, who was amazing, came and found me. They're calling me. I'm flushing calls because I don't have numbers in the Rolodex. I answered it finally. She finds me. I'm like, okay, is everything okay? And again, totally fine. I got in there. I noticed she's fine. She's okay. So then the fry and gravy was in big, big trouble. But the ultimate conundrum. Just got it. So hungry. I'm missing the 10-minute warm-up skate. Like, I'm not missing anything. I'm going to get after a fry and gravy and then go into the rink and watch everything once the pucks come in. And now I think I've been labeled as fry and gravy guy.
Then dad who doesn't care.
Not paying attention. And I'm sure there's whispers. Did you see that? He actually brought the fries and gravy with him.
Yeah, he actually took a few bites on his way, too.
So I'm a little bit concerned about that. But the fry and gravy at a rink, dude, it's as good as any cuisine anywhere in the world.
Dude, anything with a fry with like the vinegar, the hockey.
There's something about a hockey rink and fries.
The snack bar fries and the smell of it, it's incredible.
Yes.
Dude, can I throw one more your way? Like, I love the hockey rink fry, the gravy, but if you throw like a battered French fry, you know what I'm talking about? Where like it's battered in something and there's a little crispiness to it.
Yes.
That's fries on another level, man.
Yep. It's on crack. It's fries on crack. Like it was so intoxicating being in that rink with the smell, and I was so hungry. I hadn't eaten anything. I'd been on the ice for a couple hours in the morning. Anyway, so I got to go walk back in there, during the next practice, and I just know it's coming. Like, hey, next time maybe.
Pay attention.
Yeah,
Let's
pay
tend
attention
to your child.
I
No,
think
you're
it would have
gonna
been
get,
better
like-
if you threw out the fries and gravy. But
You're gonna the whole team's gonna get an email, just a gentle reminder to
Yes.
all parents that you should be watching your kid while they are on the ice, and it's clearly addressed to you.
yes.
But
Although again,
they won't mention your name.
you think about when I was a kid, I'd get dropped off. I don't know where the hell my dad went half the time. I don't know where he went. Like, there's a chance. I don't know what he did. Went to get a coffee. I don't know.
Dude, I still see guys, like I'll run into guys from minor hockey back in the day, and they go, "Oh, Sal's still smoking cigars?"
Yeah.
Because my dad would drop me off and light up a stogie outside of Westwood and Chesswood, and everyone would walk in and just see him like chomping
Yes.
on a Cohiba.
Minus
And I'll
15. in
Yeah.
There's
January.
rumors of dads like those. They didn't have this in King City, but those rinks not downtown, but Chesswood, Westwood, like dads would just be getting pile drive.
Oh, they have bars there.
Yeah.
Dude, they had bars in the one.
Let's
that
have
the
some
Von Kings
like
played
rum
at.
and cokes and watch some 2-on-1s here.
all day,
All day.
And, yeah, and chirp the coach for a bad practice plan.
Anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
But anyway, speaking
And
of,
then it would be like, get in the car, let's go home.
that's exactly. Which it's
And
much
you
better.
You hope you didn't have a bad practice.
No kidding. We're living in a better society now from that standpoint. But anyway, yeah, fries and gravy. It is what it is, and I'll go back because I love them. They're so good. And anyway, we're tracking the baseball today. Incredible finish with the Tigers. Steve Phillips in 15 minutes. Tigers win game one. Tarek Skubal goes 8 2/3, 14 strikeouts. And that's why a machine like that scares you. That's why a machine like that terrifies you, man. It terrifies you. Garrett Crochet is the same thing in Boston. We just saw him here at the Dome about 4 or 5 days ago. He's going tonight at Yankee Stadium. So Phillips on that in 15 minutes.
I heard you last night saying, like, that's why you want the Yankees, because you
Yep.
don't want that guy.
Exactly. I have no interest in Garrett Crochet. None. And I know it's likely going to be game 3, I guess, although I think he could go game 2. He might be able to go 2-5 on short rest. You face him twice in a divisional series. That is so dangerous. And, talk to the Guardians about what that's like today. So Phillips on that in 15. We've got MJ coming up just after 5. The Leafs are up in Muskoka doing the trip. You used to love that with Pat Quinn and everyone. Just great to see everyone getting together back in the day.
He just did not care about anything up there.
Right.
Like you could be just sitting in the lobby bar, which in the NHL was forbidden. Whatever you're doing, you can't be in the lobby bar. I don't know why. Maybe because the coaches wanted to be there. Mm-hmm. And he would just walk right by and just nod and be like, "Great to see you guys." Bonding.
Great to see you guys. Everyone having a good time up in Muskoka.
Yeah.
So Kirill Kaprizov signed. This is an incredible negotiation. I got to find out who his agent is because I need to shake that guy's hand. About 2 weeks ago, it was reported that he had turned down 8 years at $16 million per. $16 million per season. That would have been the largest contract in NHL history. And he turned that down. And at that point, I thought, okay, he wants out of Minnesota. Clearly this can't be a negotiating tactic. Turns out him turning it down and putting his feet up and flushing Bill Guerin's calls for 2 weeks found him $8 million because he actually is making $17 million a year. Like, could you imagine? I can't imagine because it's happened. $16 million a year. Nope, not happening. Don't call me back until you rebuff your offer. And Bill Guerin, I'm not going to say he crawled back, but went back to Kaprizov and said, fine, we'll add $8 million total. And he's got a $17 million cap hit. Draisaitl's the highest in the league at 14. That's how high this guy has gone.
Don't you think that makes him sick, Draisaitl, to not kind of hang on for any kind of bridge or something? Like
I must think so.
I thought two things when I saw the deal, the results of the deal. Incredible negotiation by Kaprizov and the agent, and I thought of how excited. Well, McDavid's going to pass that. He's going to say whatever that guy has, mine's going to be more or whatever. Eichel, Connor, Tuck guys that are going to be up, how excited they are. But what I also thought about was the Colorado Avalanche not wanting to pay Mikko Rantanen $12.
No kidding.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Because they got Makar coming up.
Yes.
Well, right.
Like they must be looking at Mikko Rantanen saying we didn't want to pay him 12 and the Minnesota Wild gave Kaprizov 17. Is Kaprizov $5 million better than Mikko Rantanen?
Not even close.
The answer is no, but the difference is the discrepancy between Kaprizov and the rest of his team is huge.
Yes. And the market, they had no choice, Frankie. The market said, you know what? It's tough to get guys. This is not a destination place. We need a guy, and we need this guy. And he could have said, like Hayes just mentioned, he put his feet up for he could have done more. He could have asked for more. I don't know what he could have got. Could he got more than that? No.
What do you do if you're Billy Guerin, though? Think about it. You're Billy Guerin. You've got this team that is a playoff team every year, can't get out of the first round, and your star player is, going to make a lot of money. You have to give him the money because the alternative is you're packing up shop and you're not a playoff team anymore. And who knows how many years it's going to take you to get a player like that. And then once you do get another player like that, you're faced with the same situation in however many years. And guess what? You're going to have to pay that guy just to get back to the same spot. Billy Guerin had no choice. It was a blank check, and he had to give it to him.
Well, he did. And, you mentioned Rantanen. I think you could throw Marner in there. Marner just signed for 12. Kaprizov's not $5 million more a year than Mitch Marner.
I don't know if is he even better than Mitch Marner?
I'm not sure. I think they're in the same ballpark.
Yes.
Exactly.
I think if you had a comparable, I don't think it would be crazy for either one of them to say, if that guy gets that amount of money, I want the same.
Yes.
I don't think it would be crazy.
No, I agree. I think Rantanen, Kaprizov, Marner, like those guys are in the same level. I think I'd put, in terms of wingers, I'd Kucherov ahead of them. I'd put Pasternak ahead of them. But Pasternak's close. But there's that.
Willie's not that far behind.
No, there's that next level. Like there's centers and defensemen, and we know who they are. It's McDavid, Draisaitl, McKinnon, Matthews, Barkov. There's center, and then Makar and Quinn Hughes. Like those guys, number one centers, number one D, and then there's scoring wingers: Kucherov, Pasternak, Kaprizov, Marner, guys like that. Willie's in there. Rantanen's in there. Matthew Tkachuk when he's healthy. And they're all kind of in the same boat. Like, this guy's a scoring winger that doesn't play 82. I don't think he's ever played 82. I think his highest is 81, where he did have 108 points that year. He was brilliant his second year in the league. He's a great player. He's an immense talent. He played 41 games last year. 41. He's hurt all the time.
Imagine playing 41 and saying, I want
$36 million.
$36 million.
And you can do it because if Kirill Kaprizov was a Colorado Avalanche, he couldn't get that deal.
That's right.
But he's a Minnesota
Frankie,
Wild, and that's why he could get that deal.
You didn't get qualified in Roch, and that guy got $138 million.
Dude, it was Billy Guerin. Billy Guerin. I got the call like, yeah, we're not going to qualify
Bill
him.
Guerin was the one that didn't qualify you and then just gave Kaprizov this money?
Yeah, he gave him my money from Wilkes-Barre.
I would email him tonight and say, you bastard, you couldn't qualify me back in the day, but you just gave him that money?
Left my ACL in Rochester, and now you're giving all the money to Kirill Kaprizov.
But here's a legit question. Can Minnesota ever win then? If they're this far behind the eight ball, like, it's such an imbalance. Where you
far
just
behind the eight ball with what?
Well, in terms of what Frankie just said, and he's right. If Kaprizov is in Florida, he signs for 11. Yeah. If he's in Colorado, it's like, we can't give you more than 12.6 or 13. If you're overpaying this guy $4 or $5 million, how can you win in Minnesota if it's that much of an imbalance?
Well, what the hell are you going to do in Edmonton if McDavid tops it? Like, then you got 14 and whatever McDavid gets. You talk about the core four in Toronto for all these years.
Yeah.
If you've got two guys, there were a bunch of years where we were like, Can a team with a guy making 10 win a cup?
Yeah.
And now we're going to be talking about two guys making 18, 17, and 14 or whatever the hell it is.
And it's still barely happened. It's barely happened because I think, isn't Barkov 10 or like 10-5? I don't
Barkov's
think
10,
I believe Eichel was the
10-5.
I believe Eichel was the first one at 10.
You're right.
Yeah, you are right about that. You know what's crazy now? Like, McDavid can sign his deal, let's say it just comes in at $17.5 million. The narrative will be driven that Connor McDavid left money on the table at $17.5 million because he only took $500,000 more than Kirill Kaprizov, and he's probably worth $2 million more than Kaprizov. Yep. Is that not like that's a reasonable explanation now? If McDavid comes in at just $500,000 more than Kaprizov,
it actually sets up beautifully for McDavid to play that line and play that narrative. Hey, I'm charitable. I gave back, man. I'm making the same as Kaprizov. That's how much I care about the Oilers winning a cup.
Here's another couple King Daddy toppers in Edmonton. Just a couple scrubs below those two guys. Bouchard in the hut at 10.5, and Nurse at 9.25.
It's the new core four.
Yeah,
By the way, like Minnesota is going to have to do this. They're going to have they got like a really good prospect pool. Those guys on entry levels are going to have to come up and they're going to have to contribute. Like, it's going to be the young guys, the next wave of guys that help them, plus Kaprizov. But they had no choice, man. They had to do it. And as far as, like, Edmonton goes, now they are – like, this is the interesting thing about McDavid. He's going to have his buddy Draisaitl. He's going to have two D-men locked up. We'll see what Matthias Ekholm is. You still don't have a goaltender. Like, I guess the number's been set for McDavid, and now you're going to top it, but – nothing really changes within the team. The questions that are there are still there.
And we'll see, because maybe he signs a shorter-term deal, right? And that seems, with the cap going up so much year over year over year, that's what seems to be happening here. Is it's either, if you're going to give me 8 years, you got to give me a massive deal, or I'll take a short term and I'll punt and I'll re-up in 2 or 3 years. All right, Steve Phillips coming up on Yankees, Red Sox tonight. Also the Jays and what they're going to do with the rotation. Kingston Pete tweeting in, calling me Gravy B. Gravy B. I like that.
I like
Gravy
that.
B. I can live with
B.
Gravy B.
Yeah.
Gravy B. That was me 12, 13 years ago. I was Gravy
That's a
B.
monster haze walking into the rink.
Yes.
Like, Gravy B has got to get to that snack bar.
Dude, I thought when you were telling us that story, I thought you were going to say that you scarfed down a fries and gravy and you had to, like, go onto the ice and they wanted you to start demo skating drills after sitting in your boiler.
No chance.
Like, do some edge work for us with the fries and gravy
Bag
in your boiler.
skate with the fries and
Can
gravy.
you imagine if you're a 10-year-old kid and you're your assistant coach was trying to explain a drill and he fell down and a fry and gravy wheeled out of his jacket and squished onto the ice? Like if it was a monster coach and you're like, this guy probably likes to feed, and you had no idea he was feeding during practice, and he tripped up and he went down, and just a bag of Skittles and a frying gravy go flying everywhere.
Dude, you're the kid and you're watching that and you're like, there's no way that little blade is holding up this monster right now. There's just no way that's
make
happening.
Sense.
Yeah.
It can't happen. 2 of those can't happen. A hot plate inside the jacket, quad XL, showing the boys how to do crossover drills. All right, Steve Phillips coming up. Mike Johnson, confirm or deny in an hour. Overdrive continues. TSN 1050 and on TSN 4. Overdrive continues, powered by FanDuel, bringing you everything from the opening line to the final score. Brian Hayes, the O-Dog, Jeff O'Neill, Frankie Corrado, Mike Johnson, in just over half an hour. His take on the Kaprizov contract in Minnesota, what it means for other pending UFAs or upcoming UFAs. And the Leafs, again, are up in Muskoka for a few days as they try to work out exactly what their lineup's going to look like come opening night. And the Jays are, I guess, sitting back watching baseball. And the Tigers beat the Guardians today, so they're up 1-0 in that series. And we got Yankees-Red Sox tonight at Yankee Stadium.
Why would the Jays,
Crochet, Max Fried.
Why wouldn't the Jays, I mean, we can bring in Steve and ask him, like, I know they're like inter squad or whatever at the Dome, but couldn't you get like some kind of like their own guys in their system, or I don't know, how could you do that? Just get into somehow another team, something.
It's a good question. Like, how do you stay sharp? Yeah, like
I want to play a simulated game like some other team.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Like if you're Vladdy Guerrero Jr., you don't want Pete Walker lobbing pitches at you trying to get out of a slump here.
You get Savannah Bananas. Call the Savannah Bananas. Come on up.
Think about them getting the job done with him playing the way he was playing.
It's remarkable.
Dude,
he did nothing down the stretch for the most part.
Nothing.
They won the American League East.
He might come up later in a few questions, and I'll have an answer for that.
Big time. All right, joining us here on the Maple Toyota Hotline, here's our TSN Baseball insider, Steve Phillips. Steve, if you're Ross Atkins, Mark Shapiro, or I guess John Schneider, what's your plan here to keep the Jays sharp over the next 4 or 5 days?
Well, you know, if anybody knew the exact answer about what was the right way to do it, they would bottle it and sell it. It's just that everybody has tried everything, and sometimes you come out of it feeling like you're ready to go, and sometimes you don't. And I don't know that there is an exact way to do it. So, I mean, ideally, you want to play simulated games. What they'll do is they'll have their own pitchers pitch to their own hitters, and play situations. They'll play a game. They'll play, set up situations about how they want to set up and do it. And, you know, you can never recreate the energy of a playoff game. It's just not possible to do it. And so you do the best you can trying to replicate what it is like, knowing that you can't perfectly do it. And so, but every team has tried different things. Some have given some days off. Some have grinded it out, and some have played games. Some have called in minor league pitchers to pitch to the guys. But I personally would want major league pitchers pitching to my hitters, my own guys, which is good because it at least keeps you, seeing 95 to 100 mile per hour fastballs. But it's not the same release point. It's not the same look. It's not the same people come in. It's not going to have the same feel to it. So you do the best you can, but you don't know whether you did the right thing until you realize if you did the right thing.
Steve, me and Hayes mocked the term internal improvements for a long time because we thought it was just a sham. It was just an excuse. But is that going to give the bunch of GMs around baseball a hall pass because of what the Jays have done this year? Because that's what they preached. They're like, you know what? Internal improvements. If we get it, we can do it. And that's exactly what they got.
They did. Now, they also changed hitting coaches. And a different message, different approach, different philosophy. And sometimes it's a different voice saying the same thing, and all of a sudden a light bulb goes on.
Yeah, some drastic improvements, though, Steve. Like guys like Springer, Bichette, Kirk, like massive.
Yeah. I mean, Bichette's health was a big thing. Kirk had the setback in spring training the year before. It did not get off to a good start. I mean, there's a story for everybody, but I'm with you. I think the other thing is some of the young players matured at the right time. I mean, Ernie Clement took his game to another level. I mean, Nathan Lucas, dude's got 65 RBIs this year, and what he gave them. And Davis Snyder had a bounce-back year where that patience was there, but he sort of lost his approach last season, and he replicated what he had done previously. And so I'm with you that sometimes guys just it clicks. Sometimes it clicks for one player because it's happening for everybody else, and they sort of jump on the bandwagon. And look, I don't know that there's any guarantee that the same guys who are being productive this year will be able to be productive out of the gate next year, because it's just baseball that happens. But it does feel like it was contagious, and their approach this year. They strike out the least out of any team. They force pitchers to throw it over the plate, but they're aggressive when it is in the zone. And that approach is the one. That style is what has won over the last couple of years in the World Series.
Steve, maybe you can provide some context for this, but, out of the 28 players that were on the field, taking the picture and celebrating, 9 of those guys started this year in the minors, and obviously they were key contributors, guys like Barger. Obviously that's good progression from those guys, but is that a lot? Is that a little to see from a team that has had that much success and, of course, wins the AL East, to have 9 guys that started the season in the minors and now be, part of that? Trey Yesavage, key contributors at this point.
Yeah, no, I think it's a good thing to notice. You're right. It is telling about the player development system that one, that there are players there to do it, and that the players in the minor leagues were prepared to get to the major leagues and be productive. And so, there's so many franchises where young players have come up and they've not been ready to get it done. And even for the Jays at times that has happened. But many of them came up prepared, or when they went down, they got put back together again. Andres Jimenez, one that was able to do that, and he's given some quality at bats right now. I like him with somebody on base or a runner scoring position, because I feel like if he makes an out, it's going to be a productive out. And so, yeah, it is an excellent job. When you have a winning team win 94, 95 games, the notion of it takes a village, that it's not just a 25, 26-man roster at the big league level. It's the players at the minor league level, the coaches at the minor league level, the development staff, your scouts, your training people, your performance improvement people. All of them have some level of impact, and that's really what you've seen this year. They've won because they're a team, because it never felt like everything was great for them. It never felt like they're the best at any one thing. They just really played good baseball for 9 innings. And, it wasn't always the best starting pitching. It wasn't always the best bullpen. But when you put it all together, it actually worked on a lot of occasions. And so, they won as a team where it's not stars that are leading the way. But quite honestly, you can make a case that it was the complementary players who pulled the stars along with them to get them going.
With Steve Phillips ahead of the ALDS, we're going to get through the wild card first, and we'll get to Yankees Red Sox in a moment. You mentioned Yesavage a second ago, Frankie, and I think it goes without saying. We know Gausman and Bieber are going to be a part of this ALDS rotation. I'm curious in terms of how you might approach games 2 and 3. One of Bieber or Gausman are starting game 1, clearly.
Don't you consider the kid, Hayes? I think he's that good, man.
He's looked really good. Hasn't faced either of these teams. Game 3 is so pivotal, especially in a 5-game series, and Game 3 is going to be at either Yankee Stadium or at Fenway. Do you consider that, Steve? Let's say it is Yesavage. Let's say they know their 3 guys are going to be Bieber, Gausman, Yesavage. Is it a lock Bieber and Gausman go Game 1 and 2, or would you consider Yesavage possibly Game 2 to take away the bright lights of Yankee Stadium or Fenway Game 3 and put a veteran in that situation?
Yeah, so it's interesting. They're a complicated team to think along with right now as to what to do with the rotation. I mean, we know Bieber and Gausman are in, and I think Yesavage has to be in. I don't want to pitch Max Scherzer, and he just felt way too hittable to me, and his stuff was flat. that if Chris Bassett is going to be eligible and healthy and able to participate, I might actually pitch him in Game 2 and Bieber in Game 3 and Yasevich in Game 4, because Bassett's home road splits are rather dramatic. Like, he's sub-3 ERA at home and he's a 5+ ERA on the road. And Bieber, I'm with you on Game 3, could be such a linchpin guy in 3, and then I think Yasevich to put it away in 4, because I think you're going to need 4 because it's Game 1, 2 off day, 3, 4 off day, Game 5, and so your Game 1 starter will pitch with an extra day's rest because of the off day, but you're going to need 4 starters, and so I'm not bringing anybody back on short rest. So I would exclude Scherzer, but I'd have to know what Bassett's health status is, and I might play with him pitching at home in a Game 2 only because he's been twice as good at home as he's been on the road.
How tough is it? I mean, Scherzer probably knows it the way he's performed, but just to kind of tap him and say, you're awesome, you're a Hall of Famer, you're great, and take a seat for a bit.
It's awful. I mean, I would send my assistant GM to go have that conversation. So, no. I mean, it would not be a fun conversation because you know how competitive he is. And his belief is, well, it will be better this time. And the way I look at it is that I have to avoid a clunker. And, and so I can't afford a 7-run first inning.
Yes.
Or a 3-run first inning where I'm going to the bullpen right away. And so I don't know that I trust that I won't get that from him. I feel better about Bassett if he's healthy and about Yasevich if he's healthy than I do Scherzer. And it's not so much that Scherzer can't dial one up. It's just that I can't afford him getting knocked out in the second inning and then trying to figure out what to do for the next 7+ innings with my bullpen.
Well, we'll find out starting tonight. Yankees or Red Sox, who's going to be coming up here on Saturday. If you had the choice, if you're the Blue Jays and you could pick either the Yankees or the Red Sox, who would you choose?
Oh, definitely the Red Sox. Definitely. I mean, Crochet is great, but he won't be able to pitch in Game 1 or 2 probably, and maybe 2. But he'll only make one start. And, it's not like the Yankees have Fried and Rodon and Cam Schlittler, where Lucas Giolito is shut down for Boston right now. And so Brian Bayo's their number 2 starter, and their number 3 starter is Connolly Early. The rookie's made 4 major league starts, kind of their version of Yasevich, but they don't really have – their 4th starter is Kyle Harrison, who they got in the deal for Devers from the Giants. So the depth of pitching is different between the Yankees and Red Sox. I'd much rather play the Red Sox. Plus, I'd rather not see Judge and Stanton because I think they're likely to really come out of the gate swinging the bat.
Now, that was my question about Aaron Judge because it hasn't gone well for him in the postseason. What makes you think this time around everything's going to click for Aaron Judge? Is it just, law of averages, you're back there again, it's bound to happen?
Yeah, so part of it is he's swinging the bat great at the end of the season. He and Stanton both were really locked in, and Judge, really turned it on as the Yankees were winning 10 out of 11 or 11 out of 12 to wrap things up. He was at the center of all of it, hitting for average, won the batting title, hitting over 330, 50-some home runs, and so there's that. I also, my belief is give me the guy who keeps getting me to the playoffs, and sooner or later he's going to hit in the playoffs. Bonds. Barry Bonds has always thought, Bonds can't hit in the playoffs, until he did. A-Rod can't hit in the playoffs until he did. And so, I think that if Judge is going to do it, he is certainly set up right now to be successful because he is swinging the bat very well.
Well, you look at what happened earlier this afternoon. The Tigers end up beating the Guardians. Skubal goes 8 2/3, 14 strikeouts. Just a legendary outing. And that's what scares me.
Automatic win when you can get a performance
basically
like that.
It doesn't help. It doesn't hurt that Jose Ramirez takes off on a dribbler to the mound in the 9th, which was not an ideal play for the Guardians, but having a guy like that, what else can you say? Skubal Is he by himself at number one? Like, is Crochet close? Is there anyone close, or is it the last 2 or 3 years it's just Scooble and then everyone else?
Yeah, Crochet's close. I mean, you look at the their numbers. The ERA, Scooble's about 0.4 of a run better. But Crochet has more strikeouts, a few more walks, but Scooble's got the better whip. Scooble's the Cy Young Award winner. I think it should be unanimous, and maybe somebody will get a vote to Crochet. But Scooble is unbelievable. And look, even though, Gavin Williams matched him, they just made 2 blunders defensively behind Gavin Williams. One in the first inning, the right fielder, Rodriguez, booted a ball, allowing the run to score. And then Kenji Noel, lost where first base was. His foot slipped off the base. That led to runners on, and then ultimately a safety squeeze to get the run in for the second run. But this was a game where they were nickel and diming each other. It was death by 1,000 cuts, just trying to find ways to score. It was going to be who could get the most infield hits to score runs in this game, because they were both great pitchers in that matchup. And tonight, I think Crochet and Fried. Crochet is 3-0 against the Yankees this year, and in his 4 starts, and they won the other start. And Fried is 6-1 with like a 1.7 ERA in his last 7 starts. That's going to be a great duel as well.
Should be awesome. We got baseball. It's cooking now, Steve. We made it to the playoffs. It's going to be a lot of fun basically every single night. So enjoy the games. We'll do it again later in the week.
Okay, thanks so much. See you guys.
Steve Phillips, our baseball insider, joining us here on the Maple Toyota Hotline. Drive the built-in Canada fuel-efficient, fun-to-drive Toyota RAV4. Gas or hybrid models available. Visit mapletoyota.com. Yeah, it's when you got a horse, man. And if he's on that day and he's cooking, it's tough to beat.
Yeah, it's not automatic win, but you just have a damn good chance. Like,
yes.
It's just a guy that's going to throw up 14 Ks or whatever the hell he did today. It's
like the Tigers manufactured 2 runs and they won. Like, that's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see. The Tigers are a crazy story because they blew a 12.5-game lead in less than a month. And they blew it to this team, the Guardians, but now they're up 1-0 in the series.
Dude, what about the turnaround from the Guardians? They
Crazy.
had 2 pitchers lost to, like, gambling stuff.
Right.
Didn't they? Early
Yes,
It's
in
like
the
a
year?
really good pitcher, too. Like, Class A's, like, that guy throws heat. Yeah.
They traded Bieber.
Yeah.
They're like, forget
Yeah.
him. Just trade him. Get whatever we can. Yeah,
And then to turn it around and get, like, it was incredible to turn
That's
around.
actually kind of crazy. You did all the heavy lifting on Shane Bieber's, like, return to play. And then it's just like, yeah, we'll actually, someone else will see it through. Like, we did all the heavy lift. Here you go. And it's in the same league as you.
Well, also the whole salary cap thing where you got Cleveland. Detroit's not a huge spender. Seattle's kind of a spender, not really. Milwaukee's not a huge spender. Like, you got all these teams in the playoffs that, like, some of them are big spenders. The Yankees are there again. The Dodgers are there. Red Sox, Blue Jays spend money. Phillies spend money. But there's a real balance. It's kind of half big spenders and half,
and
pinching
no Mets.
pennies, and someone's going to win a World Series.
And the Mets love to spend. They're in on everyone.
Exactly.
And they are not there.
How about Pete
And
Alonso?
I think that got ugly there.
30 seconds after the season saying, I'm opting out. And I believe that's a Boris client. Like, that's Boris that would have
Did he
planted
have the hat on?
He didn't have a hat. I don't believe he had a Boris hat on. I'd have
What
to
was his
go back and
reasoning?
revisit that.
Just wants a bigger deal.
Yeah,
and
I guess he was pissed at them for, they remember last year they were kind of lowballing
last minute
him.
signing.
Yeah, and he was like, well, I want to stay. Do you want to keep me? And Cohen was talking publicly, and he had a great year. And then they missed the playoffs, so he's like, I'm out. Like, I'm opting out. I think he's basically saying, if you want to keep me, you got to really pay me this time.
You talk
Or
about
forget
having
you
a
guys.
U-Haul packed. That's like the ultimate U-Haul right there.
Yes.
30 seconds after the game.
But it's Boris, man. That's Garrett Cole. That's Soto. That's him. Like, right after the game, I'm out. Give me the Boris hat. Where's the Boris hat? Like, it's just it's a crazy way of negotiating. Very different sport. All right, Mike Johnson in 15 minutes on Kirill Kaprizov. Moving the pictures coming in of me with gravy. People have got to stop.
Yeah, the Jofa one is insane.
That picture is insane. Jofa? Like, why do I have a Jofa on eating fries and gravy with my day one shirt? Please stop. All right, Mike Johnson confirmed or denied coming up. OverDrive continues. TSN 1050 and on TSN 4.
to OverDrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
All right, Mike Johnson in about 10 minutes. Confirm or deny coming up. We might have to play some audio from the LA Clippers Media Day.
Damn right we do.
Yeah. Lawrence Frank, who's – you remember the story about Lawrence Frank was always in Toronto, always following Kawhi Leonard. Wherever the Raptors were playing, Lawrence Frank was there.
Dude, that's the biggest tampering of all time.
Yep.
Like
ever.
every game?
Almost every game. There was always someone representing the Clippers the year he was up here. Every single game, I believe someone was there, and I'm fairly certain Lawrence Frank was there a lot.
And that wasn't to get to Kawhi. It was probably the Uncle Dennis, wasn't it?
Well, exactly. And we'll come back and play what he had to say about Uncle Dennis. But the guy, he's an uncle. Like, you know, he's basically saying, well, of course, Uncle Dennis knows the rules. Why would he know the rules? He's
the guy's uncle, man. He probably, like every other guy's uncle, likes to drink and smoke darts and go to a bar. Yeah, I want more money. What does he know about
studying
rules?
The CBA? Like, why would Uncle Dennis know all the rules?
It's also crazy, like, how much the Clippers put into this whole thing, all the money, and what did they get out of it? They got nothing out of this whole thing, this whole operation. No payoff.
Just a pain in the ass all the time.
Yeah.
That's it. Like,
Kawhi's comments were they were kind of goofy too.
Not helpful.
He was like, did they pay all the money? And he was like, no. It's like, yeah, they did.
They paid basically the amount of whatever that extra year was going to be the Raptors could offer, almost to the penny.
And then he was basically like, any more questions? Can you just ask the ownership?
Yes.
And then he had a weird thing like we got to play it. It was like clickbait or news media, and he just wanted to get the hell out of there.
He's in a weird place, man. He's awkward anyway. You put a massive controversy around him, it's going to be extreme awkwardness.
Dude, you know what's crazy? Isn't it his 7th year there as a Clipper?
Yeah, he left in 2020, I guess. Going into, 2019, 2020 was his first year. So,
7 years as a Clipper.
Crazy. They haven't done anything.
Nothing.
All right, more on that. Johnny coming up. Confirm or deny coming up. OverDrive continues. TSN 1050 and up on YouTube Live.
This is OverDrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog on TSN 1050.
Hour 2 OverDrive continues, powered by FanDuel, bringing you everything from the opening line to the final score. Brian Hayes, Frankie Corrado, the O-Dog, Jeff O'Neill. Confirm or deny later this hour. Best bets coming up as well. We've got wild card baseball going on. We got the Tigers beating the Guardians earlier today. What a start for Tarek Skubal. And you got the Cubs up 2-1 over the Padres. Man, that'd be fun to be at a playoff game at Wrigley.
Dude, there's something about an afternoon playoff game that's just got so much juice. It's so much different than a regular season.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that, too, because the way the TV schedule has worked when the Jays have been in the playoffs, I feel like they get that afternoon game because they want, let's say, the Yankees for prime time, and people complain about it. And it's like, I kind of like just getting after it. It's an afternoon. I get it. It's not the night game, but it's like old school nostalgia, if that makes sense.
Big time, man. Big time. And especially at, like, the old school parks. You know, like the really great old historic fan bases and parks, and there's something about it. I mean, you look at the Cubs, like it's Ferris Bueller, and once they won that World Series, I guess things changed, but they still kind of have a feeling of like not at the same level as the Yankees or the Dodgers or whatever. But anyway, we'll be tracking that 2-1 Cubs in the 7th inning. You got Yankees, Red Sox tonight, and then the Dodgers playing Cincinnati tonight as well. So we got a lot of baseball to look forward to. Preseason hockey starting, and not a lot going on. Like there really isn't. Kaprizov signed a massive contract. We'll catch up with MJ in a moment, get his take on that.
Big games in Quebec City. Noodles is doing one tonight. That used to be a spot back in the day.
That'd be a fun little party. Like
I missed it by 1 year, I think. I played in the original I mean, Frankie, you would have never come close to this arena, but the original Colorado Avalanche rink was such a dump.
What are we talking about? Like bad visitors room, like just ugly arena? What did they have going on?
It was just a terrible rink, man. It was just a terrible rink. Awful.
Well, like that new rink they have in Quebec is a great rink, and it's too bad because it just kind of – I think the junior team must play out of there, right? I should know
they
that.
do.
What I was going to get to is all the old school guys used to say, like, Quebec City was a stop. Like, it was a stop on the circuit, man.
I'll say this.
I don't know anything about it other than the Quebec Pee Wee tournament. I've never gone out as an adult. I've never done anything in Quebec City. But people that are kind of down with it say it's sick.
It might be the coolest city we have in the country. And
What?
I do not say that I do not say that lightly. Listen, I grew up in Toronto. I'm
You've
biased.
never talked about this ever.
And here's why I say that. Because I just went there. We went on a road trip. Now, I'm in a different part of my life. I went with my kids, my wife. We did a road trip up to Quebec City, back through Montreal, hit Ottawa, right? Did the whole Canadian thing, right? That's what we were doing. Let's do that because we're going to go further out east. We didn't. I ended up going to Cabot, which was awesome. That's a story for a different day. But we did Quebec City. And I went there in grade 8, and I had been there. We went skiing there, my wife and I, years ago. But when you go to Mount St. Anne, you fly into Quebec City, and you go to the mountain. You stay up by the mountain. You're kind of out of there. Quebec City, and I can't say it's a hidden gem because it's not. It's a massive city. It's probably the oldest, I believe, the oldest city in the country. Old Quebec is amazing. Amazing. Like, it is a completely different world.
Amazing for what?
It's
like what?
The cafes. Dude, it's Europe. Like, old Quebec City is Europe.
I didn't have you ever pegged as cafe guy.
I love.
I
We did cafes. We did the walk around. We did the little elevator ride to get down to the bottom. It's not called that. It's something very French.
That's a very different trip than what the old school NHL guys were doing. I'm
100%.
sure their version of a cafe was
Definitely. Doug
quite
Gilmore
different.
in 1987 was not doing what I just did with my wife and kids, if that's what you're pointing to.
The Dago Bar, I think it was called, or something. That was a legendary old school. I don't think Johnny would have caught it either, but the old school guys were like, it was like the Forum Club in L.A. where everybody went there after the game.
Yeah, Johnny would not have. If he got in the league in 98, 99. They were in Colorado by 96. They won the Cup in 96, right? So they were gone from Quebec City. But Quebec City, man, again, I can't call it – it's not a hidden gem because it's a massive, great city with tons of history and capital of the province and all that. Unbelievable trip. Unbelievable town. Awesome place. Here's Mike Johnson joining us here, our TSN hockey analyst. Are you a big proponent of Quebec City?
Were you referring to the Dagobert bar? Is that
Johnny,
not the
how
one?
how many stories did you hear from old school guys that just used to say it was win, lose, or draw? Like, I played with some old school guys where they would come up to me before the game and be like, we got to just play hard tonight because win, lose, or draw, we are going to either the Dagobert or we're going after it, and we got to earn it.
Yeah.
Like, you got to earn it.
Yeah.
But they loved it, man. They loved that place in Quebec City.
I know, and you're right. I missed it by a couple of years. Now I've been back a couple times, and it is a very charming, sort of European-feeling city.
There you
and
go.
Good nightlife, but I was too old to really get after it. But you're so right. I'm thinking of like Craig Willannon, or even Matt. Matt started his career in Quebec, and the stories they would sort of talk about the nights available in Quebec City. Yeah, it's it is what it is. You see the contract Kaprizov got today. They're obviously making good business decisions, but it seems pretty clear that Quebec City, despite an NHL-ready rink and lots of fans there, I don't think it's sort of like worst-case scenario. You need somewhere to put a team. You can put one there, but there's several other places that the NHL would rather go ahead of Quebec City.
Yeah, it doesn't even come up anymore. Like, they don't even waste time asking Gary anymore because it's just not going to happen. But that is one of the more significant jam jobs in sports history, that Quebec City went through all those awful teams where they had first overall pick every single year, and then Lindros, does what he does, and he's not going there, and They end up making an unbelievable trade. Unbelievable trade for Lindros.
Yeah.
And they go to Colorado and win the Cup immediately. Now, Patrick Waugh factored into that, and I don't know if Waugh would have gone from the Habs to Quebec. I don't think the Habs would have traded him there.
Probably.
Obviously, that was a significant part of that history. But the idea of Quebec City being such a great Canadian market, great hockey market, supported the team forever, they get it ripped away from them, and they go to Colorado and win immediately, and then again in 2001. Sickening stuff.
With the core players that were there in Quebec.
Right.
I mean, obviously, Patrick Waugh is a big change, but, with the guys, and maybe Matt as well, but, primarily the guys that were there, they had the pieces that it would have likely happened or been close to happening in Quebec City, and it never really did. It sort of feels like, when you're the Expos, they were the best team by a country mile.
During
and
the
then
strike.
Had the work stop. They had the strike, and you're like, they never recovered.
Nope.
Everybody loves saying that, though, when you got a really good team. It would have been an automatic victory, though, Johnny. Come on.
No, not on a victory, but they were miles away the best team in the league in baseball that year prior to. So, it's too bad. And now they get exhibition games. I went and called an exhibition game there in Quebec City a couple of years ago. It's beautiful, but I mean, I don't know, between Atlanta and Houston and Phoenix and Kansas City. They're way down the pecking order.
Yeah, they're out. It's not going to happen.
It sounds crazy that you just said Atlanta. We got to go back to Atlanta because, there's just some untapped potential there after trying it twice.
I don't get it. Atlanta was the worst place to play in the NHL. The worst. Never felt like you were in the NHL there. Never once. And I played in Arizona. So, I know what I'm talking about when it comes to sketchy franchises.
Worst.
It was was the worst. Now, the only good part, you can pile up the points because they were god-awful. They were so bad.
Yeah, I have 3 hat tricks. 2 were in that building.
Atta baby. I think my career high points per game against any team, Atlanta. So there you go.
Make sure you got a game face on and you're getting points.
The Atlanta Arena was the only time I ever wanted to fight a ref. I scored 4 goals. My 4th goal was an empty net. Kevin Adams, the GM in Buffalo, went out to the point, there was an empty net, and a guy tried to keep the puck in and went off Kevin Adams' shoulder or his arm, and it went out into the neutral zone, and I grabbed it and I shot it in the net for my only 4-goal game of my career. I'm jacked up, and the ref goes, hand pass.
Oh.
I said, ref, do you really care? This team is garbage.
What does it matter?
Yeah, it's 5-2 now. It doesn't matter, and you had to call that? I've never been so mad at a ref.
Just a hero, too. Just an unnecessary, heroic play.
Not unnecessary, but it would have been so easy to turn his head the other way and just say nothing to say.
And it was a judgment call.
And there was no review. There's no review about that back then. There's no advancing of the puck like there is. You can challenge these sort of things now. So, you got job. Listen, I lost a hat trick my rookie year in Toronto on an empty netter when Matt Sundin got called for a foot in the crease without a goalie.
Oh.
I'm like,
everybody got screwed on that rule, man.
What is happening?
Yeah, everyone but Brett Hull, evidently.
Yeah.
The only guy who got away with one happened to score the
You ever want to get
OT
screwed out of
winner.
goals, just play on a line with Gary Roberts. That's all you have to do. You think you scored? And
Guaranteed goalie interference.
Oh, he'd be like, I was in front of the net that nicked my pant, nicked my head, nicked my arm.
Got a piece.
But I will give him credit. He was always there, man. He was always there.
Puck went in. So Kirill Kaprizov turns down an absolute genius negotiating tactic. Turns down $16 million per year. Turns his phone off and says, "Call me back when you can find me $8 million more." And Bill Guerin finds it. Comes back to him and goes, "Great job with that negotiation. You were right to turn down $16 million a year. Here's $17 million a year over 8, and the job gets done." What do you make of this? And how does Bill Guerin possibly explain this when Leon Draisaitl is making $14 million?
He's like, "Call me when you get serious. 16, you're not even in the ballpark."
Right.
What
Insulting.
are we talking about? When the highest paid guy in the league, who signed only a year ago, only makes 14. He is making over 20% more than Leon Draisaitl, which is amazing for Kaprizov. But I think about all those guys you talked about, Marner, but Draisaitl and Rantanen specifically. Players like Draisaitl is better than Kaprizov. Rantanen, you could argue, has had a better career than Kaprizov so far. But I heard Frankie, I was listening earlier, like, it's the importance to Minnesota, right? And I would say this. Right now, Kaprizov is the most important offensive player to his team that in the entire NHL. Maybe Pasternak in Boston, maybe. But other than that, like, he is the most important guy because there's nobody else that he can sort of play with on his level. That doesn't mean he's better than Draisaitl or McDavid, but there is no Draisaitl or McDavid for him to work with. So that's why he's got they what do they do if they let him walk? I mean, all Minnesota was hoping for, guys, was that he would do what hockey players do and say, you know what, I don't want to look like I'm greedy. I don't want to look like I'm taking every last cent and not worrying about the benefit of the competitive balance of the team or other players. So even though he could demand 16 or 17, they were hoping he would ask for 15. And I give Kaprizov full credit to say, you know what, I'm getting what I can because I can. And he got the massive contract by just saying, I know what I'm worth to this organization, and if you guys let me leave, it's going to cripple what could be a pretty good team. And the fact, guys, that they just worked through, 4 years of cap hell with Parise and Suter's buyouts, and now they're finally freed up with, they don't have that $12 million cap hit of dead money, and if they let him walk when they finally have the money to spend, they were just in a bind. The same bind Edmonton's in. The same bind Toronto was in with Austin Matthews. And you think about Pasternak, McKinnon, Matthews, Nylander, like what value, I guess, for those guys now whose contracts are still pretty recent, but they're an absolute steal relative to where the new guys are going to go.
Johnny, you're a big numbers guy. Have you sunk your teeth into the percentage of the cap yet and the ramifications of that on this new deal?
Well, I think it was like 16.4, wasn't there, something like that, on a 105 cap?
So, yeah, for next year's cap, right, when the contract's going to start, it's going to be 16.3%. That's third all-time on percentage of the cap. You know who the top two are?
McDavid and McDavid?
No. Number one is Ovechkin. Ovechkin in 08-09, 16.8, and Ilya Kovalchuk in 05-06, $6.4 million on a $39 million cap. Think about that, and that was 16.4%. So I guess now, like with the Kaprizov money on the books, like where does McDavid go? Percentage of the cap, salary, like what does this mean for Connor McDavid's deal?
So it basically establishes the absolute floor that the Oilers, in good conscience, could offer McDavid on a contract of any length. It could be a one-year deal. It's got to be 17 minimum or more. It could be a 3-year deal. It's got to be 17 minimum or more. In fact, if it's going to be a long-term deal, I think, given where the cap's going, we've talked about this many times, and how quickly it's going to rise, they almost have to give him 20% because 2 years from now, 20% is going to be 17%, which is where he will want to end up. So either give it to him in 2 short chunks or give it to him all at once. But it's an absolute floor, and if he gets 17.5 or 18, then he's still leaving money on the table because he's flat out that much better than Kirill Kaprizov, and that bar has been raised. So, I mean, I think McDavid's a bit of an entity unto himself in the NHL. We know he can say whatever number he wants. Edmonton's hoping for his good graces. But now, guys, if you're McDavid, can you possibly take 17, less than 17? I mean, I know you can, but, like, I just, for appearance's sake and for the PA and for the Stars, like, could you take a 2-year deal for 33? I don't think you can. I don't think he can. So he'll set his bar. But the other guy I'm watching, guys, Jack Eichel. So who's better, Jack Eichel or Kirill Kaprizov? Eichel plays a more important position.
Eichel, because of the position he plays. Yeah.
Right. Positional importance. Now, he might not be more important to a team, and I could give you a slight discount for tax ramifications. But now Eichel will walk in and say, well, I guess if he's 17, I am net 17 relative to tax reasons. even though Marner just walked in on the 12. So
I was going to say, Johnny, he might say 17 today, but do you think that would be his number? Like, do you have any idea, or would he have any idea that Kaprizov had that in his ballpark?
You know, that's a great question, because I don't know if there's a chat group with all the agents.
Yeah, because there might have been like Eichel 13 or 14 or whatever, and he might have been thinking
13 and a half.
Yeah, and saying
he's like, oh. And now he's just like, what the hell am I doing?
Yeah, let me call you back.
Where I should be. Yeah, reset. Let's do this over. So, yeah, but I guess this is always when the big guys were waiting for someone to go first. This is what they were waiting for, right? They weren't waiting for Eichel at 13 and a quarter. That wasn't going to help Kyle Connor, Jack Eichel, McDavid. It doesn't matter. But this is what they're waiting for: someone to push it all the way. And I quite frankly, I like it. I don't think players got to do the team any favors. And teams have shown that when you give them extra money to spend, they don't spend it wisely. They make a ton of mistakes. So make the extra mistake on me, the star, and not some third liner that you're going to give $2 million extra to. So Kaprizov pushed it, and to me, it's massive ramifications for salaries right now. And if the guys don't get the salaries right now they want, doesn't it make sense to say, okay, Jack, if you're a Jack Eichel or any of those players of that ilk, Kyle Connor, say, I'll take a 3-year deal, because 3 years from now, the 15 I want won't be a big deal, because a whole bunch of guys will be making it. Cale Makar will be making it. Quinn Hughes will be making it. All these guys will be making it, so it won't seem like a problem. It is a fast-moving adjustment we're trying to make on the salary cap and the value of contracts, and Kaprizov just bumped it big time. I mean, guys, he's making almost, 40% more than Mikko Rantanen, who signed 12 months ago.
That's where I was going to go, Jen. That's where I was.
Sidney Crosby.
That's where I was going to go, Johnny. Like, Rantanen in Colorado didn't want to give him 12 or 12.5, and now less than a year later, this guy's making 17. Like, is Colorado kicking themselves, or are they still just saying we didn't want to pay that guy?
Well, they will when Marty Necas asks for 13. Like, this is what's going to happen, right?
I'm not giving Marty Necas 13. Sorry.
Okay, well, you're going to give him 11. Would you rather have him at 11 or Rantanen at 12? Like, the point remains, he's going to get a boatload.
Marty Necas is an $11 million player to you?
I mean, if Kaprizov's he's 17, yeah, Necas is getting up there, yeah.
Okay. The thing is, Minnesota clearly, like, this feels like an outlier to me.
Yeah, like other teams are going to say, that's what Minnesota did.
This is banana. Like, let's be clear here. This is an awful negotiation for Minnesota. Horrendous.
Yeah. Not awful, Hayes. They had to do it.
I know everyone
keeps. It's not a good number. It's not a good number. Like,
it's horrendous.
You can be in a bind and still somehow come out with something that feels like market value. This is probably 2.5. With the cap going up, I thought 14.5. Like, yeah, I thought he pushed Leon Draisaitl down just because. But, you know, they're well over that. And so they had to. I get it. I totally get the leverage, and I get the Minnesota tax, and I get the buyouts. And I get it all. But you can't look at this and say, not every team in the league would offer him that contract.
No.
In fact, there might not be hardly any other teams in the league that would offer that contract. So not a great deal for the Wild financially, even though I understand why they had to do it.
Yeah, there's context involved. You know, every situation is unique. This comes back to their history and their lack of superstars, and he is their superstar. And he's a great talent, a great player. But it's a horrible contract. There's just no disputing it when other teams are getting completely different deals, including Rantanen for 12 in Dallas, Marner for 12 in Vegas. William Nylander's making 11.25 or 11.5. Like,
bargain.
Yes, compared to this guy. Like, and then you look at Florida. You know, they just got Sam Bennett for, what was it, $8 million? Like, I get Kaprizov's much more talented, way better in the regular season. I'm taking Sam Bennett in the playoffs every day of the week over this guy, and he's making way more than double. And that's the thing. Like, if you're Bill Zito, if you're Jim Nill in Dallas, if you're, the GM in Vegas, GM in Tampa, you got your feet up saying, man, there's teams in this league that are playing by different rules, and they can't catch us. They can't, and they won't catch us.
there is a massive opportunity in the next 3 years for teams that have signed their best players 2 years ago. So, you think of even Ottawa, what they got their guys for. You think about Montreal with Suzuki and what they got their guys for. Like, if you have a great player who makes $8 million, that is so much extra money for you to play with until they get their next contract. Right?
Suzuki would ask for $17 million.
Suzuki's making 8 for another 6 years or something.
Yes,
5
but
years.
if he was coming up this summer, he would be like, "I'll take 16 or 15."
He'd take 13 and a half. He'd be 13. Yeah,
for sure.
Which is crazy. Which is what does Austin make?
13.25. Kaprizov's going to make a lot more money than him. Yeah. Well, you got to take advantage of that, right?
Yeah, right. Exactly. So I think there's opportunity there. You mentioned the Florida teams. Vegas has got some guys locked in. Yeah, for the teams that have been good and got their guys done. But it's all just this new Wild West financially that the NHL is going through. And it's like a baby case version of the NBA. Hayes, you'll remember the year when they got the new money and everybody was getting – I always say Luol Deng got $130 million. And you're like, what? That guy got a 4-year deal for $130 because they had to spend it. Like, that's kind of where the hockey players are going to be. Like, now, does it trickle down, guys? Adrian Kempe, is he going to push $10 million? Is Alex Tuck in Buffalo? Is he going to be a $10 million player now? He might be.
Yeah, because they're going to go to Kaprizov and say, if he's 17, I'm at least 10. Well, it's human nature for a player to say that. Okay, maybe I'm not 17, and that's a different contract, a different market, but you know what? I'm 10.
Well, and Tuck in particular, how different is Buffalo from Minnesota? How different?
No, you're right.
Not a lot.
Yeah. No.
You also have to ask yourself, with these teams that haven't made the playoffs and have money to spend, like, how desperate are you? Because if a player becomes available that you think moves the needle, and if you're a good team and you got these guys coming up on expiring contracts, you have to ask yourself, if I don't want to pay this guy and I don't want to sign him, am I a better team or a worse team? Am I closer to a Stanley Cup or further away? And most of the time, Winnipeg's better with Kyle Connor. Vegas is better with Jack Eichel. New York's better with Artemi Panarin, probably. Like, so what do you do? I think that the players finally have the owners.
Well, because there's money in the system. And again, we're not seeing transactions of guys changing teams, but we're seeing transactions of guys getting paid, which is good news for the players. But I was this morning, I saw it, and it was reported at 16. I'm like, well, maybe it was structure, maybe it was trade protections. Like, no, he waited a week and got 17.
Yes.
And I just went right to Draisaitl. I'm like,
I know.
Wait. Even if you say the cap goes up 10%, well, then 10% more than Draisaitl is 15.4. Like, even if you think you're the same as Draisaitl, which you're not, it still should only be 15.4. How they got to 17, and to Hayes' point, like, it's just a one-off, unique, we got the franchise over the barrel, and I don't mind players using it. Because when a franchise has a guy, whether they can sit him out or arbitrate him or waive him or whatever, they do it unapologetically. And so when you are, as a player, have that opportunity, you should do the same.
Well, and that's what's happened. And I do wonder how this has an effect on, or if it will have an effect on McDavid. And does he just wait, not even because he's leaving Edmonton, just so that the cap can adjust and everyone can adjust and recalibrate with where this is going?
Go short. Go short and go big. Give me 17.5 for 2 or 3 years. And then I'll take 20 for 8.
And he'll get it, man. He'll get it. Like, this is,
yes,
again, Kaprizov
I know. It's
is
just
not holding out. Like, he has another year left on this current deal.
He's negotiating.
Yes, and he did. All right, Johnny. Good stuff, man. We'll do this
All right,
again
fellas.
later in the week.
I'm on location in Muskoka for the couple days to see what's going on with the league.
Are you up there? Because I thought no media was up. I thought Austin was happy that no media member. Are you an alumnus when you're up there? Or are you a media member?
I'm a cottage user. I'm at my house.
Oh, okay.
So
I thought you were kicking around with the Leafs.
No. But I may pop into the Bracebridge Memorial Auditorium and see what the practice looks like if it's open. We'll see.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm sure Masters has to be up here.
I don't know if they're up. I mean, you can't stop the media from going up there.
I'm pretty sure you can find your way in, Johnny.
Yeah. I think you'll find your way in. But
You'll wear an
security.
little alumni windbreaker. You'll be okay, Johnny.
that's right. Craig Berube, be very welcoming. Make sure you ask Craig. He'll get you in there. No problem at all.
That's right. He's
All
got
right,
the
Johnny.
back door pass. All right,
Enjoy
fellas.
yourself.
Have a good day.
There he is,
will.
Mike. I know you will. There's Mike Johnson, our TSN hockey analyst. Yeah, I'm sure the media's up there. I think. I don't know if they're staying up there, though. Like, that would be a day trip, I would think. Is Masters going up for the day and driving back? Is he staying up at the Marriott up there? Where is he at? Is he at a motel somewhere on Highway 11? Where is
11.
He's hanging out at Weber's. He's flipping burgers.
He could be at
on the way
Weber's.
home.
Could be at Weber's.
I've
Could be.
never understood how somebody parks their car, goes up onto the bridge, and like does that whole. It's a one-time
It's
thing.
crazy
isn't it?
going southbound. Like, northbound, I get it because it's an experience.
Yes,
and
you're
it's a
like,
thing.
we're up north. Let's get.
We're going up.
And by the way,
exactly.
they're good burgers, but the
Awesome
whole process.
place. Great Canadian spot. Weber's is awesome.
Love
but
Weber's.
you're right.
What kind
I've
of
done
growl would you have to have on the going south? Like you would
But
have
that's
to have
what
a
I've
pretty
done in the
significant
south,
growl.
and they built the bridge, which I'm assuming Weber's had to pick up the tab for that, because I
Yeah.
can't imagine the province or the city would pay for that.
But what
I've done the
parent is
southbound.
saying, like, just yeah, let's get out and make this an hour venture. It's
I know.
every other it would say we're going home. Like we're
Crazy.
going home.
Like, the lineup is crazy all the time. And, yeah, you just want to get home. You want to be – like, the worst is you stop, then the traffic builds up, and you're like, did we really need that? You know, now it's way worse than it was 45 minutes ago.
That's where the classic line comes out from whoever's driving the car, probably dad. We have that at home. Whatever
Yes.
they have there, we have at home.
We have the exact Weber's burger at home that I'm not going to barbecue when I get home because I'll be so tired and not in the mood.
Yeah.
So, actually, we don't, but I'm going to tell you that. Confirm and deny and best bets coming up. Overdrive continues. TSN 1050 and on TSN 4.
I can neither confirm or deny that this is in fact a segment.
Austin trades Andrew Raycroft to Toronto in exchange for the rights to Tuukka Rask.
It's been my honor and a privilege to serve as the general manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs Hockey Club.
It's time for Confirm or Deny.
Do you regret giving all those gentlemen the no trades or no movement clauses?
Well, I can neither confirm or deny that.
I can't confirm or deny.
All right, confirm and deny. Statements are made. We either confirm them or we deny them. Very simple stuff. Not overly complicated. All right? Let's get rocking here. This is what we've been talking about all day. Confirm or deny. If Connor McDavid signs before the season, so basically in the next week, re-signs with Edmonton, he will sign for a higher cap hit than Kaprizov.
I think that's 100% confirmed. Doesn't he have almost the honor of having the ability to say, "You're giving me whatever that is, it's top of that." Mm-hmm. It's 100% confirmed. And he's earned that. He deserves that. He's so much better than everybody else, except the guy in his own team. Mm-hmm. But he's been the best player in the game for a long time, and he's deserved that honor where he can say, well, I don't care how he got to that, but whatever that number is, I'm going ahead of it.
Yeah, it's 100% confirmed for all those reasons that O just said. Plus, from the PA standpoint, like the best player in the game, when he comes up, he's got to sign for more than a guy who's the 12th, 15th best player in the game. Like, see, he has an obligation from the Players Association point of view. So, hey, listen, it could be $17.5 million, but it's just got to be higher than Kaprizov, no matter what.
Yeah, I think you're right, but I just wonder if this jams up both parties. Like, I just get the impression like McDavid is really thinking this through, overthinking it. How do I win? How can I win if I'm making 17? We talk about the core four. That's what it'll be.
Well, didn't Sid back in the day just say, I'm not going to push the envelope here. Just give me 8-7 forever, and we want to win.
Right, exactly. And he did. And that's it. Like, McDavid hasn't won yet. So it's like, how am I going to pull this off and make this work where it might have been 16 before this. It might have been 15. It might have been maybe close to what Draisaitl was making. But now maybe all bets are off, like you're saying. All right, confirm or deny. With the Steelers at 3-1, Aaron Rodgers has a shot at the MVP.
I'm gonna confirm.
This is crazy.
It is to even get to this point after what we saw the last couple of years and how old this guy is. But I think the old superstar always has a shot at an MVP just because of the name. And if it continues and they have a great record, who knows, man? You got that DNA, man. Like, he's done it. How many MVPs does he have? 2?
He's got 3 now, I believe. He won back-to-back late in his career, and he won at least one early in his career. I believe he's got 3.
I mean, it's a long shot, but just because of the name and the last one for the old veteran on the way out is always a possibility, don't you think?
They're in the driver's seat, man. Like, if Lamar's out the next 2 weeks and then Baltimore's got a bye week 7, Baltimore's 1-3. If they don't make the playoffs, that's it. They're out. Mahomes, we'll see. Allen is the one that scares me. Mm-hmm. Allen, they're 4-0, and he's Josh Allen. But, yeah, I think, he's got a shot. I'm going to confirm it. Like, if Pittsburgh wins 11 or 12 games and wins the AFC North, he stays healthy and looks really good. It's a quarterback's award. That's what it is. This will be a huge story. Pittsburgh back to the playoffs. Look at Aaron Rodgers. It was the Jets, not him. He's 40-plus years old. He's been very quiet. He's not going on McAfee. He's not doing interviews. He's just going about his business. I don't think he'll win. Does he have a shot? Yeah, he's Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. Crazy as that sounds, I think I'll confirm it.
I guess because you say that, does he have a shot? I'll confirm it. But,
he's not going to win it.
It's not yet. Okay, the Steelers are – if they get to 11 or 12 wins, that's likely an overachievement for them. It's been tough sledding for quarterbacks in Pittsburgh for a while, although some of those guys didn't have the same skill that Aaron Rodgers has. I also think there's guys that people just had, like Josh Allen, just higher on the list of people that are going to get attention for this. But yes, to say there's a shot is probably true.
Yeah, I'm looking for his name on FanDuel here, and I'm having a tough time finding it. Which is not a good sign. Like MVP odds, Josh Allen's minus 105 on FanDuel. Basically a pick 'em 4 weeks through. Justin Herbert, Mahomes is still up there. Jordan Love, I'm not sure why he's up there. He's been fine, but he hasn't been great. Stafford, Hurts, Baker, Lamar's still up there.
What happened to your boy? He was so good in the first couple, and then he just. Why did he do that to you? What happened?
I don't know. Like he was okay in the second half in Dallas, but then the overtime stuff was brutal. Like, I don't see a line for Aaron Rodgers anywhere.
Is Jerry Goff in there?
Yeah, Jerry's in here.
Jerry Goff's got
Jerry, where is Jerry? Jerry is 19-1. He's like 6th lowest odds or best odds to win it. But I must be – oh, there he is. He's 150-1. Is that right? Yeah, 150-1, I believe. Yeah, plus 15,000.
You can't say he's got no shot. Is he likely? No.
I might sprinkle on that. That's a future, man. That's a big paying future. Aaron Rodgers, a little sprinkle on the
You do like a
future
odds. And you do like cashing. I think I witnessed you on a Bubba Watson Masters in Vegas with like a bucket hat in the betting room.
You did, but you got the
coffee.
winner wrong.
You should have seen this guy. He looked like a Tiger Woods.
Tiger in 19.
No.
I bet Tiger at 19.
Dude, I just went for a walk around, and there's a sports book, and this guy's in like a tracksuit with his leg crossed with sneakers on and some kind of weird hat, and I was like, oh my God, this guy's a sicko.
That's him in his natural habitat.
Yeah.
Like
that's
where
I think there was a newspaper
himself.
Involved, and it just looked like,
I felt great.
Yes,
Sam
you
Rosti.
loved it.
I was right in my element, and I placed a future bet on Tiger Woods to win the Masters in 19, and I cashed that thing. That is such a great feeling when you mail that off. It was MGM. Believe the sportsbook at MGM. All right, confirm or deny. Vladdy Jr. needs to be the Blue Jays' best player for them to win the ALDS. Best player for them to win the divisional series.
I'm going to deny it. You know why?
Why?
Because I don't think it's possible right now for him to make that transition and turn it around and be better than Springer and Kirk and all the guys that are getting it done. I honestly just don't see it happening. Obviously, he's capable, and you want it to happen, but I don't know. Can he dig it out of the dirt, and get it back together? I just don't know, man. Yeah. That's why I'm going to deny it.
I'll deny it for the ALDS, but if we start talking about like World Series, then it has to be a confirm, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they can get by just like O's talking about Springer playing well, Kirk playing well. You get some good pitching, good fielding, but you want to start making a run for it. You can't do it without Vladdy, and you can't do it without him playing like a $500 million player. So
you look at Ohtani
deny
last year with
now.
the Dodgers. They could have good team performances, and everybody's going to say you got to have team performances, but if that one guy doesn't get it done on a regular basis, like Ohtani would always hit a homer in a big moment, man.
That's why I lean confirm. I mean, all year they've been doing it without this being the case. Springer's been better, Bichette's been better, Kirk's been better. You know, let's say Bieber starts game 1 and 5 and he pitches 2 gems, that would be better. But like at some point, it's got to be about a pecking order, and like he's their best player. He hasn't played like it all year. He's in his prime. He's 26. He's got a week off. If it's the Yankees, he loves both stadiums. He loves Fenway too. It's not just Yankee Stadium. He plays really well at Fenway. Your best player's got to be great against the Yankees. You know, it's.
But what if Judge is playoff Judge again? Like I'm not convinced that all of a sudden it just clicks. Like when we were talking to Phillips, you know, it made me think of the old Leafs, where it's just like, yeah, you get there, the guys that get you there, and eventually they find a way. They didn't. They didn't find a way. So why? I get Aaron Judge is great in the regular season, but he hasn't done it.
Great
so what
question.
Makes you think he's just going to do it now all of a sudden?
Connor Hellebuck, same thing.
Yeah.
Why all of a sudden? You know, you keep betting. I don't know. Soto's not there anymore.
That's the only thing to say about the Jets, like in a preview show.
Yes.
It's like they're going to get to the same place, but can Connor Hellebuck in the playoffs get to a level where it's a difference-making level? Because it hasn't been.
Right. It almost, and again in the playoffs, it can't just be okay. He was good. He's got to be like great.
Yes, like lock it down. You're not scoring on me ever. Not wrist shots from inside the blue line going in.
They
top
would take
glove,
good.
5-hole.
At this point, they would take good
They
on
would
the road in the
accept
playoffs.
You would, but you need great to win a cup, I think, if you're Winnipeg.
For sure.
Like, if you need great to get out of the West if you're Hellebuck. Confirm or deny, Anthony Stolarz will start more playoff games for the Leafs over the next 5 years than all the other goalies combined.
All the other goalies.
All
like
the other
in their
Maple
system?
Leaf goalies
All the
combined.
other
In the
Maple
next
Leaf goalies.
5 years?
Well, he's just signed a 4-year extension. He's got this year plus 4 more. So
I get it. But the reason I'm going to deny it is because things can change so quickly in a 2-year span where it's like, you're not our goalie anymore. So that's the only reason I'm going to deny it, because things are so different and rosters change. That's the only reason I'm going to deny it. But I'm going to have 2 answers for this one. If he does stick around, I'm going to say yes, he would be the guy. Confirm. I'm going to do a confirm and a deny.
A confirm
That's
and a
crazy
deny.
that you're
Not a
doing
confirm or a deny, a confirm and a deny.
Well,
That's
I can either confirm or deny that.
I can confirm and deny that.
I love it. I'm going to deny it just based on the fact that like he hasn't been healthy enough to play like these big regular season minutes and games, and then to parlay that into big playoff, schedules that, hopefully the Leafs have coming around the corner in the next 5 years. It's a lot of hockey for a guy that's played 34 games at the most in his career in a season, and he's now into his early 30s. So I just don't know if he holds up to play more than anyone else over the next 5 years.
5 years is a long time. It's a long time, but the Leafs have committed to him. They've given him the deal. They've given him he's not getting paid so much money that it's impossible to handle, or you can't move off it if need be. Or if he turns into a backup, a really good backup that's not playing in the playoffs, you can live with that too. Like $3.75 million is not going to be an anchor on the books. But Joseph Woll, I just don't know if he's going to play himself there, if they're going to have faith in him getting there, what happens, his availability moving forward. Hildeby, is there someone in the organization? I'm not sure. I mean, 5 years is an eternity. But
Akhtiamov,
is that kid going to keep growing to the point where he pushes Stolarz out of the way and forces you to trade one of them? That seems like he's still a couple years away from that. I'm gonna confirm it, because there's also no guarantees they make the playoffs all 5 years. Feel good about them making it this year, right?
You know how goalie transactions can happen, though. It seems like it never turns the right way for the Leafs, but like there's a Bobrovsky. Didn't he go from Philly to Columbus and then turned into Bobrovsky? Like you never know, man. Like the goalie transactions, it is, and how they grow and how they turn into stars and how they trade teams, and Who knows?
What did Colorado do last year? They revamped both goalies. Out. Georgiev, see you later. Who came in? Mackenzie Blackwood and Scott Wedgwood. Like, both guys in the same year. It never happens.
Crazy.
But I guess it does happen because Colorado just did it.
It just
so
did.
it can happen.
It just happened. All right, final one. Confirm or deny, the Florida Panthers should no longer be considered the favorite in the East. With Barkov being done for the year.
I'll jump on that. I'll confirm that.
Oh.
I think they've slid back to a group of teams that all should have a reasonable chance of winning. Where I think they were ahead, but without Barkov, and he's gone with an ACL, so that's 9 months most likely. They're not that much better than Tampa Bay, as is right now. We'll see what they do. Like, Bill Zito's got to have something up his sleeve. But they're not that much better than Tampa Bay. They're not that much better than Toronto right now. Like, I don't know. And then you go to the Metro. I think they're very gettable without Barkov, and
even Kachuk
will be back. He'll be back.
And he'll return. But
I'm 100% confirming this. We got to a point where we were Barkov's the most underrated player in the league fatigue talk, where it was like, really, is this guy that underrated? Are we blowing this out of proportion? It's just every year this guy doesn't get enough credit. I think we've seen in the last 3 years what this guy means to the Florida Panthers and what he brings to the table come playoff time. Like, offense, defense, shuts down great players. It's just to throw that guy out on the ice for 25 to 27 minutes a night, it's a luxury that very, very few teams have.
Yep.
And what he does is what very few players can do.
Well, it just slides everyone into the slot they're supposed to be in, right?
Oh.
Like, everyone is slotted properly.
Yeah.
And I'll confirm it too. Also, based on fatigue, they did a remarkable job bringing everyone back and finding a way to make that work. Ekblad, Bennett, Marchand, unbelievable. They're still a very good team, but you've been to 3 straight Cup finals. It's very your goalie's not young. Bob's phenomenal, but he's 37. He's not young. He's played so much hockey. That would be my concern. Hip pointer, groin issues. Something's coming. It's what happens in sports.
It's a lot of hockey, man. That's a crazy amount of hockey in 3 years.
Especially for, again, not a young goaltender. It happened to Vasilevsky. They went to 3 straight, and he lost it. Got hurt. Now he's back, but it was like a 2-year kind of resetting for him.
Yeah.
So it's very, very difficult to do. And then you get dealt this. Very tough. All right, there you go. Confirm it tonight. We'll come back with our best bets. We'll get to that next.
My bad habits lead to late nights sitting alone.
So I got some inside information on that bridge for Weber's going southbound. Apparently it came from the old Ontario place. I guess they just shipped it up. Ontario
they
place.
Didn't have to buy it, build it. It just got shipped up there and stapled in there.
Exactly. They set it up, said if anyone wants to go to Weber's going southbound, there you go.
Love a good repurpose.
We'll take care of you. Love a repurpose. Have to appreciate a repurpose. All right, so what do we have? I think the Cubs won. Cubs won 3-1. Man, we got a lot of low-scoring games. Tigers won 2-1. Cubs won 3-1. And we got Yankees-Sox coming up here momentarily. And Best Bets powered by FanDuel. Make your picks and assemble a same-game parlay in seconds on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. I'm going to go Red Sox on the run line, plus 1.5. I think this is a tight, close game. I could see the Red Sox winning tonight with Crochet on the mound. I really could. I think he's going to challenge these guys. He's so good. If he's dominant tonight, I could see the Red Sox winning this game. And I'm going to parlay that with Dodgers money line tonight. The Reds have been a great story. Great story. I just feel like the Dodgers, they just wanted to make it. They made it. They're in. They're ready. They're at home. Dodgers roll tonight. Red Sox run line. Dodgers money line paying plus 130. Best Bets powered by FanDuel. The FanDuel Sportsbook app is, of course, the exclusive home of the OverDrive same-game parlay. Please play responsibly, 19 plus, physically located in Ontario. Noodles in Quebec City tonight. I've been scolded by suggesting Quebec City was the oldest city in the country. Apparently it's not. St. John, New Brunswick. Did I get that right? I probably just got that wrong too. But
don't get jammed up twice.
Yeah. People are yelling at me.
You got scolded for what? Saying it's the best city or the oldest city?
I thought Quebec City was the oldest city in the country, but it's not. I guess it's St. John, New Brunswick. But again, do these people know what they're talking about? Are they Wikipediaing this or what?
Could be Al's brother's bots just coming
very
at
well
you.
could
You
be.
never know.
It could be. Al's brother pushed me to pick the Jets last night, and I'm going to have a conversation with him. But no blood.
Talking about you make the call at the end of it, man.
No
you just
blood.
Say, okay, thanks for your info, and now I'm going to pick.
No blood last night. You guys with the Bengals, terrible pick by your partsy, but it's all good. Thursday night is going to be a great game, battle of the NFC West, so we look forward to that. Noodles will be back tomorrow. Great seeing you, Frankie. Thanks for doing this, buddy.
See you, boys.
Great stuff, everyone behind the scenes. Thank you for helping out. We appreciate it. Everyone for tuning in today, TV, radio, podcast, web, and, of course, up on YouTube Live on TSN's YouTube channel. We're out of here. Enjoy your evenings. Enjoy the games tonight. We're back tomorrow at...
Let's do a show from the Dago Bear. 4 p.m.?
We'll chat then.